Heini, you've been at Slush many times. What does this mean to you as a PR person to come to these events?
Well, Slush is actually kind of mixed feelings. I used to run the communications for Slush, so it's definitely fun to be on this side. PR-wise, it's the best time of year because you have all the international media in Finland, and basically it's possible to, you know, grab anyone you want by the sleeve and at least pitch your company. So it's amazing.
You have a lot of experience in the Nordics in PR, but also abroad and in Silicon Valley. What are some key differences that you would say that maybe should be kept in mind when you're doing PR in various countries or maybe regions or something like that? Or is it all just the same?
Well, I think kind of wherever you do need to communicate, it's not about pitching to the press, it's about pitching to the readers. So it's always key to keep in mind the target group. So in the US, the consumer is, of course, or whoever your target group is, if it's businesses, it's different than here. And of course, in the Nordics, I think for startups, it's been more difficult to get momentum. I think there hasn't been that much of an interest for like smaller companies, you know, what's going on. But now it's changing, so it's kind of pitching has been maybe more challenging in the Nordics than in the Silicon Valley, where kind of, or the US overall, where they're kind of more used to writing about novelty stuff. So yeah, keep your target group in mind and be nice and remember that reporters are people. That's my tip.
A lot of companies just try and get their PR to that stage that they make it to TechCrunch or some tech blog, even if that might not be their target audience at all. What would you like advise in this sector? How to find that media, what actually resembles your customer base or those people that you want to get it out to?
Well, I think it's really knowing what your aim is. If you need to get employees, if you need to get customers, or it can be, you know, finding developers, whatever. So you always need to keep that in mind and then ask those people what media they follow. So of course in the developer space, it's easy to ask internally, okay, what blogs or whatever do you follow, and then contact from there. On the customer side, you just need to know your customer.
And that's tough.
Yeah.
Most recently, no news for everybody, but Supercell was quite a lot in the headlines in the Nordics and everywhere. How was that? Was that like a crisis situation there, or did you have it all planned before advance, or how did that whole like circus go?
That was probably the most fun I have had in my career. So on Friday, I was actually traveling the US, and I get a kind of call like, "Hey, you need to be back in Finland on Monday morning." Like, stuff is happening. Okay, booking flights and then flying over and working over the weekend to get the messaging right. And of course, the challenge was that you're working across 3 different time zones. You have Japan, because you're working in collaboration with your partner over there. Then you have Finland. Finnish media, of course, is super important for us because we are from Finland, and then you have the US media. So just getting everything in sync. It was a lot of emailing and phone calling, but our team is really good and really awesome and super experienced. So it was just keeping cool or anything else. And yeah.
Did you have then, in this situation, did you have like everything written already, and did you tell the people, okay, at this hour you may publish, or was it just that you send it out in one batch, or how did you deal with that?
So this time it wasn't actually possible to do. Usually we do like embargoed interviews with a couple of reporters and have them on a specific timing, and we make an announcement. But this time we couldn't really do that because we were working with you know, huge company in Japan. So we were playing really finding kind of common ground. So what we decided to do is just make a blog post where we had kind of our story, and then we worked in very close collaboration. We were on Skype with Japan, like, okay, can we put it live? Can we put it live? Can we put it live? And then updating servers because our websites were almost crashing, and it was fun.
And how difficult was the culture? Was there a lot of stuff that you had to change or amend or these kinds of things? I mean, when you're suddenly working with a totally different company with different, like, I don't know, maybe thoughts about how to do these things, things, or the company message is different. How did you integrate that in such a short time?
Well, luckily, like our cultures are very similar, so it was very, very easy. And I think it's not only Supercell and SoftBank that have similar cultures, but like Finland and Japan have a lot of stuff in common. So it was surprisingly easy. And of course, because everyone has the same target, it's really like everyone is kind of trying to get there at the same time. So it makes communications a lot easier. But of course, you know, it goes through commenting in rounds, but it's... Yeah.
What about for the smaller companies online and here watching it, what would be your advices, first of all, for an event like this, what to do, and secondly, for just in general, how to maybe not even do PR, but build your brand the way you want it? These are tough questions, and Heini got called quite fast, so give it props.
Yeah, I had 2-minute warning. Let's see. Well, what we try to do...
This is catching people by the sleeve at Slush.
So what we try to do is maybe do something a bit more special. So at Slush, we've done the party a couple, like last year and this year. So instead of kind of doing just having a stand, for example, we try to do one bigger thing, and then we don't necessarily have a stand. So that's maybe our approach. Of course, if you're a smaller company, then I think it's really kind of, again, focusing on the aim, what you need out of this, and being super active. So if you want a good stand, you know, be in touch with the organizers early on, and you know, make them promise you that you're going to get the stand that you want, and I think that's very important. Then of course, reaching the right people is always a challenge, and there's nothing like preparation. Like, of course, there's the internet, which is very, very good. You can try to find people in advance, and also, I think if you're trying to book meetings at a conference, you're a bit late. You should be actually booking those in advance. Also with media, because they're super, super busy.
So how's the Supercell party going to be this year? Can you tell us some secrets?
I'm afraid it's going to be huge. And it's kind of, we're always saying that small is beautiful and stuff, and I'm a little bit worried about the scale, to be honest, but I hope everyone has fun. Yeah.
At least we'll definitely all fit there. Maybe just a last question. Like, there's been, Supercell is viewed as a really, really healthy place to work. Everybody's really nice. Nobody's cocky there. Everybody doesn't wear shoes and they go with their socks and all this. How did you get that to interest people? Like, we don't wear shoes, we just go around with socks, you know? That's not like the headline story usually. So how do you get this kind of like a feeling of how it's working there out?
Just by inviting people over and actually like getting people to realize that it's not PR. It's really not like coming out of my mouth or anything. Like, if you visit our office, you'll really see that when you enter, okay, everyone leaves their shoes, and it is, for Finns, it might be semi-normal because we don't wear shoes at home, but for example, people from the US, they're like, what is this? You know, sometimes I even forget that we do it. So, and it's just, you know, I don't know, like, it all came from just being ourselves, really, and yeah, people liked it for some reason.
Okay, well, you can catch Heini by the sleeve at the Supercell after party.
Yes.
And thank you very much.
Thank you.